My poor little stove does not get much use these days anymore since I've been doing my living foods diet. So this is it, you guys. This is our pizza cracker batter. Oh, it's rich and creamy. I love how we can transform. I love how nature transforms herself in so many different forms. So what we're going to do, I kind of have already prepared these dehydrator trays. Now I have a plan. Like I said, I believe in using what you have. And I know a lot of people, if you're practicing a living food or raw food lifestyle, you learn about the tools that you need in order to practice that. There's all different types of dehydrators. So eventually I will get, the top of the line dehydrator, the nice square one. And I've seen some people online, they like to kind of talk smack about these. They actually call them the cheap circle dehydrators, but hey, if it works, it works. So I'm living in gratitude. I'm super thankful for this that I have. It's been with me for a few years. Like I said, I've been thinking about this lifestyle. So I've been collecting tools over the years as I can so that I can be able to live it on a regular basis as a daily practice, as a lifestyle. So I have these prepared with these are the sheets that I use for my pizza crust. And so this is what I'm gonna use for my crackers. Now, this particular tray, I have another one. This one, I don't know if you can see it, but in the center, here's some of the things you have to look out for. Like in the center, there's this little raised area. And I wish it was flat. Like on this side, it's flat. I wonder if I can use this side, actually. It's made so that they fit together snugly this way. But I wonder if I can use it this way. I might just do that. Now, I do have two dehydrators. Let me check the trays on my other dehydrator. This is the one that I use for my pizza crust. So let me see what these are looking. Oh, this one is even bigger. Even bigger. So yeah, I think that's why I chose to go with that one. Okay. I think it'll be okay. We're going to do one face up, and then I'm going to actually flip one over and see how it turns out if I put it on the other side. And that's what we're going to do. So they said they want us to put this in here about 1/4 of an inch thick. That's what the recipe says. All right, so we're going to fill this cup up. Oh, this looks good. It looks a little weird, maybe if you're not used to seeing stuff like this, but just knowing everything is from fresh ingredients, it smells really fresh. And I'm going to actually try to level this out. All right, so we got a cup of the batter. And then I'm just going to take it and put it on my pre-cut. It might take more. It might take 1.5 cups, but we're going to start with 1 cup and see what that gets us. So that's what happened. That's how I even discovered the fact that my recipe could be made into a cracker, because when I first made my pizza crust and dehydrated it, it was so thin. So what I found out was when I put it in really thin and I dried them, I don't know if I put them in too thin and just dried them for too long, but what I came out with was a cracker. Oh yeah, I might need 2 cups per tray. So we might wind up doing that. Yep, we're gonna go ahead and do that right now. So it's only gonna give me 2 trays of crackers. I can already just kind of tell. I don't want my crackers to be that thin and crispy so that they just break up into 100,000 little crumbly pieces. Like when I cut them into the shape of the crackers, I kind of want them to hold their shape. So I don't want to do them too thin so that when they're done, they just break up more than I want them to. So we'll put like half on that side. I try to be mindful and kind of spread it out even, and I'm kind of really just eyeballing it to make sure it is nice and even. So some of you folks who are a little more scientific, you might have a better method of, making sure it's even, but I tend to be a bit of a freestyle artist at times, so I'm kind of just eyeballing it. But I think what's going to help me is, unlike my pizza crust, I'm going to bring these all the way out to the edge, all the way around. I did take some measurements just to make sure how this circle was going to work with my crackers. How many crackers could I get out of this shape? So I did do some measuring. And I think that's what we're missing. When you're not doing the work of preparing your food, you're missing a lot. You're missing a lot of what comes with that. There's a lot of learning and wisdom gained through this experience. So that's why I'm all for everybody getting back into the kitchen, reacquainting yourself with preparing your own food. It's more than just a tap, tap, tap to get good food. So let's get back into remembering what it takes to have food, what it takes to grow food. We're in relationship with our planet. It's not just gimme, gimme, gimme. Like we have to take care of the planet because the planet is what feeds us. So we need to remember that and the work that goes into nurturing good fruits, good healthy fruits. Anyway, that's my little spiel. My little tangent. Sometimes my kids, I know they kind of tune me out because they think I like get on these tangents, but I'm so very passionate about what I'm talking about. I'll be so sincere and passionate about. I'm very passionate about the health of not just my family, but the human family. At this stage, we got to be mindful about the health of the human family. Y'all see me spreading this? So, because they got the robots are here, the computers are here doing their thing. All right. Cute. I think it looks lovely. And I have 2 children, so that's actually kind of perfect that this recipe is going to make 2 trays. So they each get to try. I hope these come out great because I'm going to be very excited to ship these out to my babies. So this is number 1. We're going to kind of just set this to the side here because we still got one more step. We got to add some toppings to it. Ooh. So we got number 1. And so now that I realize I'm only going to need 2, I guess I'll just take the next one here. One right on top. Number 1 and number 2. Now, even though I'm pretty sure it's only 2 cups left in this whole big measuring cup, I'm going to still measure them out 1 cup at a time just to make sure everything's even because this is the first time I'm doing this recipe, so I want to make sure. I'm going to go ahead and just add a little extra on this one just because we got it. And then same thing, I'm going to try to work on smoothing it out nice and evenly. I hope you can see what I'm doing. Maybe I'll switch them. So you can see a little better as I'm working with it. Now I smooth it out. Now I'm kind of just eyeballing how it comes to the edge of the tray. So, and that takes some patience and maybe a little experience. I think I've iced many a cake and cupcake in my day, and kind of working with icing and things like that is something that I've really enjoyed over the years. So it kind of gives me that same soothing effect as back when I used to ice cakes and cupcakes and things like that. So I'm happy to be able to have that same feeling as I'm preparing something healthy for my family and myself. Now this one really went out to the edge, so I'm gonna try to bring it back a little bit. When I was younger, they used to always kind of like make fun of me and say like I was slow with things, and they'd be like, "Oh, she in there praying over the food, taking long." But you know what? At this stage in my life, I'm like, yeah, putting some prayer on the food as you're preparing it is exactly what we need more of. That's exactly what's missing from the commercial food industry. That might be what's missing from a lot of our lives. That might be the reason for, or a contributing factor. I'm not going to say the reason, but definitely a contributing factor for a lot of the health problems that we're facing as we eat all these commercial products. I know a lot of folks don't even take time to put a little prayer on the food. So don't, if people tell you that, don't ever let nobody make you feel bad about praying over your food. Pray over your food. Put some intention on what you're putting in your body. Put it on there. Be the prayer. Boy, I hope these turn out. All right. Beautiful. I love it. Now, the recipe said the recipe called for a topping of white sesame seeds, black sesame seeds. Let me clean my hands. What else? And coarse salt. I stumbled upon this everything bagel by Simply Organics, and it had everything I needed all in one. So I was like, yes, and thank you. Look at life presenting with ease and grace for me. So what we're gonna do, this has got our black sesame seeds, white sesame seeds, and it's even got the black poppy seeds, not black poppy seeds, but just poppy seeds, and a little onion and garlic. So I think my babies, I know my daughter tends to love the everything bagel seasoning. Nice. So what they want you to do is kind of, I don't really know if it's necessary, but they kind of want you to pat the topping down onto the crackers. I'm just ever so lightly tapping on the toppings. You can see how much I'm barely getting any of the dough on my hands. So I'm not pressing into it hard enough to really get to the dough. I'm just really gently and lightly pressing on the top. The goal is to kind of just press the seeds into the cracker batter, just slightly, so that, there's some adherence, so that it adheres to the crackers as they begin to dry. So they don't just come flying off the top, they'll actually be in there, on there. And I get that. So I'll kind of just pat, 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 tap, 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 very lightly. Try not so much to get into the batter. You really don't even want to disturb the batter as much as possible. So just let your fingers, or meet the seeds on the top, and then just tap them down into the batter ever so gently. This smells really good. Ooh, my kitchen gonna smell good. I'm supposed to be starting a little 3-day intermittent water fast tomorrow too. Boy, it's gonna be smelling good in here. I don't know why I do that to myself. All right, let's do this one. The same tap, tap, tap. Kind of just tap our seeds in here. Gently go across the whole tray. I don't so much mind the circle tray. I mean, definitely for my pizza crust, it works perfectly. But, for certain other recipes where they work with the square, I'll be happy when I have my Excalibur in the square shape, so that I can, follow those recipes. Like now, I have to configure the shape of how I'm going to cut these crackers in order to make that happen, because, I'm working with a circle, and typically crackers come in a square. So I had to figure that out. I had to be a little creative. And you know what? That's exactly what you should do in the kitchen. Get creative. All right. I think we are good to go here. Look how much, that was 2 trays. Look how much I barely got on my hand. That's how lightly I was tapping. So I just want to make sure you see that. So, it's not a hard press. It's just a gentle tap. I could probably do a little more right here to make sure it's on there. Now, this is probably where our journey is going to end for tonight. Got a little bit left. This is going to be my little sample, my sampler tray. All right. Okay, well, we'll see what that does for us. Let's put a little topping on this. And again, just a gentle tap, tap, tap of our seeds into the batter. Now, here's the thing about living foods. This is where it takes patience and preparation, because you might have to dehydrate for 6, 8, 10, 12 hours. That's the only, something like cooking that we do. We use the dehydrator to take all of the water out of certain recipes. So these will become a cracker because the dehydrator will dehydrate all of the water out of the recipe. One thing about dehydrating foods, it really helps to concentrate the nutritional value as well. So that's something to be mindful. People are like, oh, how could you possibly, how could that be enough food? It's not enough. You need to eat more food. But actually, when your food is more dense in nutritional content, you don't have to eat as much. So we are going to stack these up. We're going to put the little one on the top. So we stack them up, one on top of the other. This one on top gently, so I don't disturb. And they kind of lock in place. Like it's not like they're going to slide around. So they're made in such a way that they kind of lock in place like that. So that's the base over there. So I already have them prepared, stacked one on top of the other. place it right on top of this base here, which is just another tray with nothing on it at this point. I could take that all the way off. This is the top, and actually, you know what I'm gonna do is I'm going to bring this empty one because the heat source this one is on the top, so I don't want to put the tiniest right under the heat. That's gonna get extra crispy, extra fast. My other dehydrator, the heat source is on the bottom, so I'm actually going to put the smallest one on the bottom. I'm gonna rearrange the order and put the smallest one on the bottom, and then the largest one on top. And then I'm gonna put this empty one, a blank one, on top of my first cracker tray. Then I'm going to put the very top on, which is the heat source, the temperature. This is let me show you, Nesco. This is the first dehydrator I ever purchased. So the only thing I don't like as much about this dehydrator is that it's basically, as soon as you plug it in, it turns on the power. So either you plug it in or you have to take the plug out. There's no timer mechanism on here, so you have to use something else as your timer. Dehydrate this at 115 degrees for about 6 to 8 hours. Hello. They said we got to dehydrate this for 6 to 8 hours, so that's fine by me because I'll be back in the kitchen potentially about 6 a.m. tomorrow. So just let me just show you. You have your temperatures there on the side, so I've set it to 115 degrees Fahrenheit, and then on it goes. You get to set it and go on and do something else. At this point, I'm gonna be going to get some sleep, hopefully, because I keep baker's hours. You know, maybe I'll be a baker, but I swear I keep baker's hours. There she goes. That's it. That's all she wrote. So I'll even set that back off the counter. And that's it, y'all. That's it for this morning. I can't even say tonight. It started out as a tonight project and turned into an early AM project. So that's what happens with me when we be late night in the kitchen. Maybe the next time, one of these other times, I'll show you my other dehydrator I have. This one actually was gifted to me from my brother, the chef. I have actually two brothers who work professionally as chefs. So this one has a timer on it, so you can actually set the timer. And so it's a little more digital. It has a whole digital display. It's fancy. So we'll use that for the pizza crust. Maybe I'll show you guys how I make my living proof pizza. If you want to make your own at home, I will definitely encourage you to do so. I'll bring you in the kitchen with me for one of those. But for now, I'm going to say thank you. Thank you for watching. I definitely look forward to bringing with you as I create more in the kitchen. We're going to find a time that works best. All of these videos are not going to take place like in the midnight hour, but definitely something like this. This is why I set it. This is why I work late at night, because this is going to be sitting overnight. So I don't have to worry about it because it's supposed to dehydrate for 6 to 8 hours. So this is something you can prepare the night before. That way, by the next morning, your foods are ready, or by lunchtime, if you're somebody who's preparing food for your children or something like that, you can kind of budget when the food will be ready to share with whoever you're going to share it with. So that's why we in the kitchen late night. Let me tell y'all, this smells so good. It already smells really good. So yeah, we'll see how that works out. That's gonna have my kitchen, probably the whole upstairs in my house and my bedroom and everything smelling like pizza. See what kind of dreams I'm gonna be having smelling pizza all night while I'm sleeping. And I'm supposed to be water fasting for the next 3 days. I'm gonna wake up, my whole house gonna smell like a pizzeria. Anyway, I want you guys to also check out my brother's restaurant. He's on all the apps, the food delivery apps. He is local to the Las Vegas, Nevada area at this moment. So if you're living in the Las Vegas area, definitely check out Down to Earth. That's the word down, DOWN, the number 2, Earth, plant-based cuisine, and also Down to Earth Pizzeria. Both creations of Chef Parker. 2 Chef Parkers you'll find working there, creating some delicious dishes for you guys. Plant-based pizzas, mac and cheese. Tabitha Brown was just there today, I believe, having his, what he calls a fried fish sandwich, which is actually made with oyster mushroom, but is seasoned to perfection and tastes just like fried fish. Listen, I tell everybody, if you like good food, if you like good flavorful food, don't let the fact that there's no animal product in there turn you away. Give it a try. He makes some delicious sandwiches, salads. So take a look at his menu. Again, you can find him on Instagram, the word down, numeral 2, Earth, plant-based cuisine. I am Elle Parker. Thank you for hanging out in the kitchen with me. And until next time, wishing you peace, love, and good eats. Good morning, good night, and see you later. Bye.